Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports Bites. Sports Bites, we are your number one sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds, sports and snacks. I'm your host, Randall Horn. Across the table tonight,
Yo.
big guy across the table. What's going on, big guy?
What's up,
Brett
dude?
Turner,
Yo.
the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Mike.
Good to see you.
How you doing, Brett?
What's up, everybody? How you doing, man? I'm all right.
I'm good. I'm glad you're all right. I just wanted to
awesome.
make sure, man. Way across the table,
What's up?
over on the end, man, Robert B. Alec. What's going on, Robert?
Not much. How's it going?
Man, I'm catching my breath, man. Living the dream. Living the dream. How about you, buddy?
Hanging in there.
That's it. That's it. Well, we want to let everybody know that, as always, we are coming to you live tonight from beautiful Varsity Park Studios at Varsity Park Franklin, Roanoke's newest business storage and business center, innovative storage and business center.
Don't forget the innovative.
It's got because it is. It's innovative.
It's pretty innovative.
It's wild
It
out
was
there.
very innovative of Jim to let us park in the employee spot so we could find parking here.
It was, and that one was actually that was Andrea. That was Andrea that did that for us.
Shout out, Andrea.
Yeah, shout out to Andrea. But Roanoke's newest innovative storage and business center. Check them out on Facebook or at varsityparkfranklin.com. Also, shout out to the fans.
Yo.
How's everybody doing? I'm like I said, I'm slacking tonight. I'm way behind. I'm like, I don't even have it loaded up right now.
Yeah,
I'm just talking to talk, man.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm good at, right? Just talking to talk.
Just talking.
That's all right.
You do talk a lot.
I do. Hey, man,
That's
you know
why
what?
you're the host.
That's part of it. It's part of it, man. But yeah, so all you fans out there, thank you guys so much for being a part of the Sports Bites family, for tuning in on the regular, getting in these comments, helping engage during every and then even my phone's out of it.
Talk.
You know what? That's actually one thing I don't like. I can't stand the sound of myself talking. But sorry, man, just checking messages. I think so. I think I'm good.
All right.
So here's the thing, and I don't want to jump too fast, but I'm starving, and my brain just doesn't work well when I'm starving. So I'm trying to get the thanks out there to all the fans, even though my stomach is controlling my brain, and I'm like, But thank you guys so much for being a part of the Sports Bites family. We truly love all of you out there, and remember, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that share button, get this thing out there. Tell your people, hey, it's a group of guys and one gal. Well, two gals, you know. Sorry, I had to. But yeah, just group of funny folks that like to talk sports and snacks. And
Oh, I got the snacks.
I know you.
I heard you say you're hungry.
because you are the director of snack content.
Yeah, and I take my title very seriously.
Believe me, I know. I know.
So, actually, so I got the snacks ready. Actually, went to a new store. I went to Aldi this week.
Ooh.
So I didn't get nothing too crazy. But there was a lot of good looking stuff in there, so we'll do all of them. All right. First thing I've got on the border, cafe style salsa flavored tortilla chips.
Okay.
Now I do like on the border chips. They're normally my go-to. So
You could just get salsa.
I know, but sometimes you don't want you just want it all. You don't want to dip.
No.
Like you just.
Is it all natural salsa?
I couldn't tell you, brother. It says flavored tortilla. It's gluten free.
I can't think of a time that I've ever had a tortilla chip and said, man, I really don't want to get this.
Oh, I love raw tortilla chips, man.
I'll tell you.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but give me salsa all day. Like, let me dip.
Oh, yeah, I'll
the
take
salsa.
it.
I would rather have salsa than salsa flavor.
Well, they had salsa and queso flavored.
Oh, okay.
So but this one sounded better.
I'm gonna say just right off the rip, I like the look of these. They look like a good tortilla chip.
Yeah, I would much rather have salsa filling this chip than this flavor.
But I'm getting
I don't know. I'm
salsa notes off of this.
kind of digging it.
I'm getting a little tomato. I'm getting a little cilantro. Oh, definitely some garlic.
I really like
I guess that's just not what, I'm not in, I don't want notes of steak. Give me a steak. I don't want notes of salsa. Give me salsa I can put on the chip.
All right, and then you buy the salsa separate and eat them together.
Yeah, I like the consistency of the chip.
It's a good chip.
Yeah.
I do like this chip. It's a little airy, a little airier.
Like flaky almost.
It's just excessive. Why?
I don't know, man. Someone has to. People on the border got to keep working. They got to come up with flavors.
What? But again, why? Tortilla chips and salsa is just fine.
I understand that, but
I gotta say,
I'm just telling you, the good people over there on the border, they're trying to innovate. Just like Varsity Park, they want to innovate. So they're making flavors in the lab. We got to keep the people on the border working, and this is what they came up with. Now, because as far as I know, tortilla chips, the seasoning department is salt.
right?
And that's it.
Well, the tortilla chips themselves aren't that good. The
I
chip-
disagree. No, I disagree.
What? These?
Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
I think he likes a heartier chip, but not too hearty because he didn't like Takis either. I think he likes a nice, thin, crisp
To be
chip.
honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of Takis.
I know.
I'm just not. But those, so I've been on this kick lately. I don't know why. Poor man's nachos. Micro nachos.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Who hasn't stumbled home and made microwave nachos?
Well, dude,
The chips and the cheese.
that's been like my go-to at work for lunch for the last few days. And I'm like, I feel like those would make a really good.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Microwave
And I would try the queso flavor too. That's just gonna be like a really cheesy, dusted tortilla chip.
I think so, yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
I wanted to see what they were working with because they've got all the ingredients. They got the lime, cilantro, tomato, onion. So, I think it's well represented in these chips.
I think so too. I think the flavor is, whether I feel like it's salsa or not, I feel like it's got ample flavor with the seasoning, and I like the chip.
All right. Well,
To each their own.
now we got a potato chip. Now this is Clancy's brand. Now I don't know.
Clancy.
I don't know what that's an Aldi brand or like. I don't know who Clancy's is, but these are loaded bacon and cheddar flavored wavy potato chips.
You don't know Clancy?
I don't know
He
Clancy.
makes a hell of a steak chip.
Apparently, Clancy be making a lot of stuff at Aldi's if you ever walk through.
Oh, yeah.
Clancy be doing a lot of stuff over there in place.
Also, bonus level for you. If you're at Aldi in their refrigerated section, or I guess in the front, like where the cheese and everything is, if you find their pepperoni calzones, pick up a couple. They do, before prices went crazy, you could get them for like $1.50 a piece. Big old pepperoni calzones, and they're delicious.
Yeah, I didn't look around too much while I was in there, but Aldi look, it's like mostly generic type stuff or brands you haven't heard of.
German.
Well, it's
German.
Trader Joe's. It really is. It's Trader Joe's. The brothers, one brother owned Trader Joe's and one brother started Aldi. But they're very similar stores.
By the way, you ever seen a barcode on a bag like that? The barcode is this whole thing. The barcode is printed across the top of the bag.
That kind of worries me.
Well,
That kind of concerns me a little bit. What?
Might be a German
It
barcode.
might be a German barcode. Uh-oh, Brent's got that look.
All these is a German store.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Bacon and cheddar.
It reminds me, you know those TGI Friday chips? They were like the little potato skin type chips. Like those, but the bacon flavor is very strongly of bacon bits. Like that fake
Well,
smoke
that's
flavor.
every bacon flavored thing there is.
But this one,
But I don't really get a whole lot of bacon on it.
I get a lot of cheese.
I weirdly like them though.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I weirdly like them. Huh.
Like, salty enough for me. Like, I like a chip to have a little bit of salt to it, a little white.
This bag was $1.50.
Lance knows what the hell he's doing.
That's not a small bag.
Although the more I'm eating, I'm like, it might be just a little too heavy on the salt. It's a pretty salty chip. Yeah. And I can't believe I'm going to say this because I don't really like it, but I feel like a little French onion dip on this.
I can see that.
Rachel likes that bison dip. Bison dip.
What's bison dip?
It's a buffalo thing. It's like a French onion dip from up north, but it's pretty good.
It's just French onion dip.
But they love it up there.
What makes it bison?
The brand is bison dip.
Oh, the brand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought there was some sort of
But
bison.
when she goes up there, she gets like 3 things of it from. I think they sell it at Trader Joe's.
Okay. I love
It's either Trader Joe's or Wegmans. It might be Wegmans that they sell it at, but she gets like 3 tubs of this stuff and brings it home.
Obsessed much?
No, but I get that.
When you go to the next time,
when
when
you
you
go
be
to
like, hell yeah.
specialty grocery stores, like I'll hoard stuff. I'll buy, like 4 or 5 or something I really like.
I bought 3 tubs of Trader Joe's lobster bisque because I like their lobster bisque so much. It's amazing.
Wait, you hand carried that all the way from Buffalo or wherever you were to here. Soup.
Cooler bag.
I know.
Ice and everything in it.
Okay, well, all right. Teach their own.
Dude, it wasn't my thing. Not Rachel's first rodeo. She will drive across the United States and keep food fresh in the back of my truck if we need to.
Oh,
She's
there you
good
go.
at that.
All right. All right. The last thing we got here. Now, I know you boys are familiar with Wonder Bread. Well, they decided to do something else besides white bread, and they released like a line of snacks. And they had honey buns, and they had these. And so these are just like your normal, like
Pecan spin
wheels, like the ones you've seen. Now, I'm hoping these are different. I love the pecan wheels. My only gripe about the normal ones I get, it's got the crusty outside.
Oh, they're dry. I feel like
dry
they're very
on the
dry.
outside. So you peel off the layer and get the middle. So I'm hoping these are better than that.
That's what like a good,
I've
a
had
good
no
cup
pro-
of coffee or chocolate
The
milk. would help
packaging
that.
doesn't tell me that it will be.
But I remember just banging a whole sleeve of these because they used to cost $1. Here you go. Here, sir.
All right, let's see what we got here.
They smell good. They smell really good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely not dry.
Not dry.
Dude, they're up there. I like it. Yeah, a glass of coffee or a glass of chocolate milk. Yeah, buddy.
Well, they're kind of about standard. They taste. I think the cinnamon flavor is a little strong, but pretty good.
That's the thing that always gets me about Little Debbie, like the pecan pinwheels. They don't have a lot of flavor in my book. The flavor is good, but there's not enough of it. That's got a little bit harder of a flavor of the cinnamon and
I think if you took this thing and unrolled it and rolled it up like around a piece of bacon or something, it would be banging. That's
I can see that.
That's all I got. All right, Wonder Bread.
I mean, ever since they sponsored Ricky Bobby,
Yeah.
he sold the windshield.
I have another one, actually. It's pretty good.
Actually, I guess he sold the windshield to Big Newtons. Now that I think about it.
All right, Randy. You ready? You done snacking?
Yes.
Sure.
I had to make sure this thing didn't explode.
Yeah, not on the soundboard, please.
No. You might see me running out of here with this thing.
All right.
All right, so, and you know, honest podcasts. Not a lot of craziness this week. We had the draft.
Well, then you're not watching the hockey playoffs.
Well, and I admittedly, I have not. I've kept up with the records, but I haven't been watching the games. I haven't really had a chance. Even us talking about Oblivion, like I've maybe gotten a couple of hours total since the last episode to really like actually play it some. I have had no time to do much, so I've kept up with the records. It looks like it's been some really exciting series.
The hockey playoffs?
There's been a lot of stuff going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with hockey then.
Oh, we can start wherever.
No, let's start with hockey because, again, just watching the records, but I haven't got to see any of the anything crazy that's happened during the games.
Probably the craziest series as far as between two teams is either Florida and Tampa. They hate each other.
Yeah,
they
maybe.
absolutely despise each other.
Maybe Oilers and Kings.
The Oilers and Kings. The back and forth of that. The Kings really have been dominating the Oilers, and the fact that the Oilers have tied it
They've come back to
2-2. They came back in game 3 and 4, down 2 goals both times. They tied it really late. Won in overtime.
They tied it with less than a minute to go.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's been a great series, but I think it's hard to count out the Oilers, but the Kings look so good. It's going to be tough for the Oilers to beat them. The Florida and Tampa series, they are both very good. It's a shame they have to play each other in the first round, but that's the way the NHL playoffs is.
I don't hate it. Because either
if it was if they had the seeding the way that it should be, 1 through 8, they would be the 3 and 4 seed. And they're playing each other in the first round.
I don't know how many years running, but either Tampa Bay, or Florida has represented the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cup maybe the last 6 years, 5-6 years.
And I picked Tampa I put 2 bets on Tampa and the Knights to win the Stanley Cup because I figure whoever gets out of that Tampa Florida series is my pick.
Yeah.
And I thought Tampa would. They still could. They're down 3-1. It's going to be very tough though. The last game they were down 1-0.
They scored 2 goals in 11 seconds.
They come out and scored 2 goals in 11 seconds. And John Cooper, their coach, who is not a very animated guy, he's a very low-key guy. They score that second goal, and he just starts, that's what the fuck I'm talking going nuts. Very animated, because him and the other coach have just kind of been saying things back and forth.
They do not like each other. It's a blood feud.
There was a big hit on Hagel in game 2, and the Florida coach made a snide comment like, we only hit the guys with the puck. And so then Matthew Tkachuk lays out someone in game 3 at the end of the game. They asked John Cooper, same thing, and he just kind of smiled and says, we just hit the guy with the puck. That's all we do. And then the Florida coach in his next press conference, they asked him about that, and he was like, yeah, I saw he was chirping me. Well, I was at home. I mean, man, I'm at home. I'm just watching. And I see him sure my wife's laughing at me. She thinks it's funny. I mean, yeah, hey, it was a good one. You know, it's 2 coaches that you can tell that they kind of respect each other, but the teams hate each other, and they're going. They know that they're both very good, and they're going back and forth.
Caps are up 3-1.
Yep.
They lost 1. If you want to talk about physical play, they had a brawl that spilled into the box.
Yeah. I did see a little bit of that.
They lost their composure. They lost their composure that game.
Completely lost their composure. Montreal. This is the first time the Bell Center was Montreal, the epicenter. They say this is the greatest home ice advantage. It is The Montreal is just a beautiful city. It's loud. It's everything. And they haven't had a home playoff game in like 10 years. And they showed up. It was loud. I saw PFT commenter from Pardon My Take. He's a Caps fan, and he flew up to Canada, and he went to the game. And there's like videos of like he is like, oh my God, like it is so loud. And we just got we're a team that it can happen too. We just play with emotion a lot, and we can get out of our game. And that completely happened. And Tom Wilson's one where he can really explode. And he did that, ends up at the end of the second period, they go fighting on the bench. It was ridiculous. They get a 10-minute misconduct and 2-minute roughing. So they both have to sit on the bench for 12 minutes. And Montreal's saying, okay, so Anderson sits on the bench for 12 minutes and Tom Wilson, yeah, we win that. Because as much as people like to call Tom Wilson a goon, he's scored over 30 goals this year. He needs to be on the ice.
Yeah.
So the coach talked to him after the game and said, I love your physicalness. I want that but we need to keep that within the parameters of the game. Because we need you on the ice, not in the penalty box. He spent way too much time in the penalty box. And to his credit, he listened and
Took it to
he
heart.
even said after the game, game 4, he was like, that was a game in my early years, I would have taken a lot of penalties. And he didn't. He didn't take a single penalty, and he changed the game himself.
True.
Where they were down 2-1 in the third period, and he knocked the soul not only out of Alex Carrier, but the entire building. The entire
crushed it. Absolutely demolished. Clean as could be, too.
Nice.
Well, you talk to Montreal fans, and they're the biggest babies I've ever seen. I've never seen a bigger group of babies that complain about the refs.
No, they complain about
more
Tom
than
Wilson.
anything. It honestly made me think that Donnie is actually like Ike. And he's actually Canadian, okay? Because he's the only person I've ever heard complain about refs more. He laid him out to the point that he was like slow getting up, and then he just
crushed him.
Skated as slow as possible to the bench. So that's one person out of the play.
Yeah.
The issue that he had, he put his head down for more than 1 second looking at the puck and paying attention to Tom Wilson. And he got laid out. Tom Wilson, immediately after he hits him, turns around and skates straight to the bench. The guy that he got into a fight with the game before starts skating towards him after he laid him out and was like trying to like drop. Tom Wilson doesn't even look at him, just skates right to the bench. So this is another guy then he just looks confused because he's skating towards Tom.
Yeah.
So that's 2 guys out of the play. Chikrin had gotten the puck and just punts it down the ice. It falls and they pick it, send it in, and because of the change and the defenseman and everything, they had a forward instead of a defender trying to keep off the next guy coming in. It goes off of him, goes in the goal, game tied. And the place is silent as can be. They're one of their best defensemen. Carrier
This all happened in like 15 seconds.
Now has to leave the bench because he's not playing anymore in this game. Because I'm pretty sure he was knocked out.
A little bit concussed.
Our bench is fired up, and then a few minutes later we make another awesome play where they get kind of mixed up and we fire it in. And then we scored 2 empty netters. And after the first empty netter, Tom Wilson comes over and celebrates, and then with his team, and then looks up at the Montreal crowd and just smiles. And then he scores the next
he's being a super
empty
troll.
netter goal, and he just goes straight to the glass and just starts banging on it while everyone's flicking him off.
If he is on your team, you love it.
And
if you are another team, you hate it.
It's really funny because every fan of every other team, all they do is they say he's the dirtiest player. They bash him and everything, and I say, but you want him so bad, like it's out of jealousy. And it's the proof that everybody wants him is that every team all of a sudden seems to have this one player who really doesn't ever play. He's always scratched. He's a healthy scratch, but then they play the Capitals. And then they bring him on, and all the fans you see online. This is with the Rangers with Rempe. This is with Montreal with Xhekaj. Xhekaj didn't play game 1 or 2. They got beat up. Game 3, they're like, okay, Xhekaj's playing, and all the fans are like, yeah, Tom Wilson this is Tom Wilson. He's like,
He's okay, so, for the grinder.
This is your Tom Wilson who can't even get on the ice. Our Tom Wilson scoring 30 goals and still laying your guys out.
Yeah.
You wish you had this guy. That's why when you guys have these bruisers that all they do is hit, they're your favorite players because they're the Tom Wilson
they're the
killer, as you put it.
Bash brothers.
But our Tom Wilson is scoring 30 goals and contributing to the team while also laying you guys out. Every GM wants him, every fan base wants him, but they're all jealous.
Women want him. Men want to be him.
But that series is far from over. 3-1. You would think they should be able to finish it off. Caps aren't very good in playoffs. And they are 6-4 when up 3-1. Not very good. That should be a much better record. And if they lose game 4, that means they go back to the Bell Center.
They'll lose that one too.
They were lucky to win game 4. I mean, it very fortunate.
They don't want to go back to Montreal.
They don't want to go back to Montreal. And if they do, they win. If Montreal wins that one, then game 7 in NHL, anything can happen.
Yeah. I do like a good game 7. I'm waiting for one. But it sounds like they're going to.
It can happen in the West.
Yeah.
A lot of 2-2 series.
We have a lot of 2-2s, yeah.
I think that Dallas-Colorado series is headed to 7.
Those are two good teams.
Very good. It's fun. Hockey playoffs is great.
Hockey playoffs is a lot of fun.
Don slander won't be tolerated. We miss our prince. What are you talking about, Josh? You got your prince right here. I thought he was the prince for you. Well, yeah, the Dallas Stars didn't. One of the old coaches for the Dallas Stars, he coached what was it? The Eden Hall Warriors. Was that? He coached them, I think. The JV team, though. No,
loser. He's talking about D3. Mighty Ducks D3, the worst one.
Oh, come on, man. Don't come at me with that.
I just thought it was a funny reference.
I was like, it's
you know,
straight to VHS.
The head coach for the Flyers that got fired this year, he coached the Lancers.
Really?
Yeah. Years ago.
That'd be quite a jump if you went from Lancers to the Flyers.
Lancer lot. Coaching at the Lancer lot, I mean, NHL coach.
Word.
Well,
you want to do a
any
little...
other? Huh?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, any other games catching your eyes that you think are gonna really be
NHL?
Yeah, that are really gonna.
No, I mean
here in the next
one tonight, Oilers Kings. The Devils will lose. The Hurricanes will take care of the Devils tonight. The Maple Leafs should take care of the Senators tonight. I hope the Knights can figure it out and beat the Wild. I don't want to lose that bet in the first round.
Tomorrow night will be a good night of hockey because you have the Caps game and the Panthers Lightning game going on at the same time. So you just,
which means I'm not seeing any of the Panthers Lightning.
You know, it's like, oh, second intermission break. All right, so you know, intermission break, switch over. You know.
Yeah.
I do really, just a quick sidebar. I've been watching a lot of hockey. That is one thing I do love about hockey. You get an 18-minute break between periods. It's just enough time to go do a little something, come back.
It goes by quick.
It does go by quick, but it's like, you know, maybe I need to go take a shower real quick or like, you know, do something else. You know, done.
I just spilled nachos all over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I am going to try to catch this Caps game as a game 5 tomorrow night. I really am going to try to catch that one. I as excited as I was for NHL playoffs, I'm like, yeah, it's like the more excited I get for a sport, for an event or something, I feel like everything compiles all at once. And it's like, you wish you could watch that because you have to go do a bunch of adult stuff now.
Well, if we're wrapping up hockey, I'll say one thing about
What do you got?
the SPHL champion, your Evansville Thunderbolts. They were like an 8 seed.
Dude,
They came out of nowhere. So they're
But like I told Brett, when we won the championship, so were they.
So you know,
And then he was like, "But we were better though. Like we weren't a bad 8. It was like we were the 8th seed in a 10-team league, so we were just as bad as anyone."
no, but the team I like wasn't as bad as this team. See, that's just that fan delusion kicking in. I can't.
I'm the delusion.
No, I
Okay, all right.
no me.
we were the 8th seed. We made it ML.
But we were not like
30
we probably should have been like at least 6.
32 teams? No. Just 16? No.
But yeah, shout out those guys.
Yeah, most definitely. Congratulations to them. Looking forward to another year of dogs hockey next year. So it's always next year, man. Always next year. I do have something I want to talk about.
What's up?
That I even forgot to mention to you guys before we started. So I caught this game the other night. That was played in Death Valley. Savannah Bananas.
Yeah,
Oh, they had it on ESPN.
they hit a lot of home runs.
It broke the record.
Well, they were only like 120 feet.
The way the field was shaped was
the
so
orientation
weird.
of it
It threw me off.
Well, left
It's like
field-
left field was like here, and right field was way up there. It was like a rectangle, like they were playing in a long rectangle.
Well, they were. It was
Yeah.
a football field.
But to me,
Was it? I only watched like 5 minutes of it.
yeah. But to me, that was like the most banana ball kind of thing I've ever seen.
It's like a long rectangle.
But yeah, it was like the most banana ball thing I've ever seen. Like seeing the stadium like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Death
They
Valley was
sold out.
What, was it Clemson?
81,000
Clemson?
fans.
They
yeah.
sold out the stadium.
The football
81,000.
They were like, yeah, so obviously this now holds the record for attendance at a banana ball game. And I was like, yeah, that's going to hold that record for quite some time. Like until you get to another stadium that holds more folks.
Go to the big house.
Yeah. I mean, but the game itself, dude, I gotta say, I love me some banana ball.
I wasn't tuned in. Like I said, I
man.
only watched for like 5 minutes.
Bro, I didn't watch
But
it.
I saw
was
the
just-
ref. The ref was like doing all this.
Well, yeah,
behind the
dude.
plate.
The
And when he was calling strikes, he was getting real chatty. I was like,
Yeah, they don't get like an MLB ref who.
I understand, but I had never watched Savannah, so this is my first experience with it. So
Dude,
it was like I knew what their whole gimmick was.
Yeah. It
But
is the first full game I've watched. I watched the whole thing. Actually, I got in, I think, at the end of the second inning, and I was watching. I was like, all right, you know what?
were you thoroughly entertained?
Dude, it was so, like, I love the fact that it's still, a guy at church was asking me about it. He's like, so is it like, it's like the Globetrotters, right? And I'm like, well, kind of, but the Globetrotters, whoever the Globetrotters plays knows you're not going
They
to win
play
that
the
game.
Generals every time, and the Generals were
Exactly.
never going to win.
But this, I was like, this is different. Yes, everything is scripted as far as the dances and all the stuff they're doing. The game itself is still a competitive
The
game.
hitting, right? Yeah,
And I was like
script.
No,
hitting.
exactly. And so, and dude, the trick play thing, I don't even know how that works out at the end of the season. But every time a player does a trick play, they get a stat.
Yeah, I saw he like did a backflip while he was catching the
Yeah.
ball, and I was like, "Well, that was crazy."
Their shortstop, he had like 4 backflip catches during that game. He's also apparently the king of. Let's see how he catches it with his glove and pops it through his legs, grabs it, and makes the throw to first. Counts as a trick play. He did that like 4 times during the game. And I saw them botch one, and I was like, that was kind of cool too, because these guys are trying to be entertaining. Like, baseball is entertaining. I love watching baseball, but you do have those games that are.
Yeah, it's just different.
And dude, yeah, it was entertaining to the very end. One of the coolest rules that I saw the whole time, and I was like, it really sold me on it. The bananas are up. So do you know how the scoring works in banana ball?
Yeah.
So yeah, no 9 innings whoever is got the most runs at the end. It's each inning is a separate point.
Yeah.
Whoever had, so the Bananas were up going into the 9th inning. They were up by 1. And the other team, the Party Animals, I think it is, they get up to bat, and this dude smokes this home run. 2-run home run.
125 feet.
It was actually this one. It wouldn't have been, obviously it wouldn't have been a normal home run, but it went farther than most did. The fan in the stands, wearing his banana ball shirt or whatever, sits there, puts his hat out, catches the ball in the hat. They're like, batter's out. If a fan catches the ball, I can't remember if it has to be in his hat. It might be has to be in a hat.
I would think hat.
But if they catch the ball in a hat, the batter is out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, that's cool because that engages the fans in the game too. Like, that was real. Like, I was like, dude, banana ball is cool, man. Like, banana ball is so cool.
They should do that in the home run derby at MLB just to take points off a guy.
Oh, dude.
Point guy.
Yeah. I would be epic.
Yeah.
They're coming to Salem. I got on the.
They are.
So we entered it too.
There's like a rat or
lottery. After seeing them sell out an 81,000 seat stadium, I have low hopes for getting a lottery
I had
pick for
low hopes.
Salem.
As soon as I saw it was a lottery, I was like, yeah, I'm not.
But the end of May, Banana Ball is 2 teams. It's the Savannah Bananas, and it's I don't know who
4 teams.
At the end of May, they add 2 more teams.
There's idea. They want to add a bunch of teams.
Yes,
And now, the teams go all around the country doing.
And the thing is they were talking about at the end of that game. They were like, so you add 2 more teams, you have a 4-team league, and that's cool, and you can still. But yeah, they were like, but there's a lot of other teams who want to be a part of this. And they started talking about, like, when you get to like 12 or 14 or 16
Have a
teams,
tournament.
well, you have a league. You have a legitimate league, and you make banana ball a mainstream sport. I was like, dude, I like it because it's not.
I don't like it, but I think it works how it is.
I think keeping it small.
I think keeping it as small as possible makes it work because it's the banana. It's the banana ball team.
Teams would be the most they should do.
Once you start throwing in a bunch, like then who's gonna go see the Party Animals go play the firehouse, the firefighters?
I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably go see it.
But like,
but yeah, I get your attendance goes down on those games because it's such a high demand game right now.
They need maybe take it slow.
Yeah, and that I don't think that they're gonna just jump into anything. I think that's how it'll be. You add 2 more teams, you got a 4-team league. In a year or 2, maybe add 2 or 4 more and see how that goes and actually have a legit league. But dude, it was highly entertaining. I loved watching it. Dude, the first base umpire, the dude dressed in a ninja suit. Have you seen that?
I haven't watched any of the game. I watch clips here and there.
Every time it was an out, dude does like this hand plant backflip thing and like lands in this like and does this like I love the environment, like the atmosphere of Banana Ball. And that was the first one I really got to watch all the way through. And the cool thing was it's like it's not just dancing and like doing all the fun stuff. At the end of the game, it was a competitive game. Both teams were trying to win that game at the end. The Party Animals had the game. I mean, they had the home run to basically because the Savannah Bananas had a shot to come back in it if they would have if it would have counted. But the fact that fan caught the ball, it's like, well, it's nullified. It doesn't matter now. Like it matters not. And so yeah, it was pretty cool. The pitching too. There is like no break in the pitches. Catcher throws the ball. The pitcher catches it. Winds up, throws the next pitch over and over and over. So they do a 2-hour time limit on it. And I guess so it's 9 innings or 2 hours, whichever comes first. And at an hour, they do a halftime thing, which I was like, dude, it's just, it's pretty cool, man. I enjoyed it.
Rainey, you're going to have to keep us locked in on what the banana ball is doing.
I plan to. Well, let's move on to what I had as the big one for the week. It was the NFL draft. It's done. It's over. Everybody knows where everybody went now.
Yeah.
I've said it many times. I'm like, this was not a flashy draft. This was not, a slew of these big name players and 32 teams jockeying for position over every one of these players and every one of these positions counted and all. It was a lot of teams who had some non-glamorous positions that filled big time needs that they went after. And I think a lot of teams got help in areas that aren't the big flashy positions. A lot of offensive linemen being taken in this draft that I think teams really needed. A lot of defensive linemen, edge rushers. You didn't see as big a push on a lot of these big skill positions. You saw some wide receivers that went, but even then, a lot of the wide receivers that went were kind of like, yeah, he'll help, but you're not getting the big three like you did last year in the draft. So
I think that Terry is gonna be good. That where'd he go? The first receiver picked.
McMillan?
Yep.
yeah,
He went to the Panthers. I'm trying to find my list here.
And I think there's a few that are going to be really good.
well, so I think everybody in the nation knew that Cam Ward was going number 1 overall. I mean, everybody knew it. Tennessee had the need.
You got the big splash right away and picked
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah, that blew me away. Jacksonville making the jump, and I'm like, that's a lot to put in. Like, that's a big. The analyst on the YouTube live that I was watching put it very well. He was like, listen, new GM, new coach. They looked at it and said, this is the guy on the board that we want. Forget everything else. Let's go after him.
They're not going to get anybody next year.
Yeah, they might not. And I don't think that Travis Hunter is a one-player changer.
Right. I don't think so either. And I think that
It's a
the
lot to give
Browns
up.
realized that.
Yeah, but I also, at the same time, Jacksonville needing a fresh start, I don't hate the move to say, hey, like, we feel as though this guy is going to make a good change for us, a big change in areas that we need.
The main thing I think he's doing is off the field. I think he's putting butts in the seats because he's from Florida. Mm-hmm. It's obviously Jacksonville. They want to sell tickets.
Heisman winner.
And they're going to put this kid on the side of the stadium. They're going to sell the hell out of his jersey. Mm-hmm. They're going to get this kid involved. And
Yeah, but as a fan, I don't care about that.
no, I mean, at the end of the day, you want your team to win. I don't think they need a lot more than just him. I think I think they gave up a lot.
I think because of they weren't one piece away, I think it's stupid to give up that many picks.
Oh, and a 1 for next year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. The fact they gave up a 1 for next year, it's too much for me.
So Cleveland's going to have 2 top 10 picks next year
Exactly.
because they're going to suck. The Jaguars are going to suck.
And, sorry, I'm loading up. I don't know. I got a brand new phone, and this thing is super slow. I think, again, I see both sides. I'm not going to agree with you. Like, Jacksonville does need more than that. I think that they're hell-bent on sticking with Trevor Lawrence. They're waiting for him to really come back and
They've already paid the man.
Exactly.
They've paid him, so he's got to play.
I don't think he's the problem, but
No, and he needs weapons, and that was like part of Jacksonville's issue is like, I don't know. They needed, to me, they need a little bit better run game. Travis Etienne.
Well, they did get our boy Tootin out of Virginia Tech, so hopefully.
I think he's going to be good.
I think he'll be good
I think
too.
he's NFL. I think he's going to be a good NFL running back.
I do too.
He's small, very hard to bring down, and has a lot of speed.
The big one that kind of got me in this, and I want y'all's take on this is number 3, Penn State
Best player.
edge rusher Abdul Carter goes to the Giants. Mm-hmm. The Giants have a plethora of needs, so it's not like they didn't fill a need by getting him. Do you guys think that was the smart move, or do you think there was somebody else that was available that would have filled a bigger need?
You take the best player available when you have that many needs, and he was by far the best player available. That was the perfect pick.
And now you look at the Giants' defensive line, it is stacked. They've got multiple first-round picks on that defensive line. They're going to need more than that, obviously, but on the defensive side of the ball, that's one of the best defensive lines in the league now.
Yeah.
With that guy, with Thibodeau, with Dexter Lawrence, that's a good front floor.
Yeah. I personally agree. I thought that Abdul Carter was a good fit for them. I think that he's going to bring a lot more life to that defense. They need they need some help at defense. I mean, the Giants they're fighting through the rebuild. I feel like they've got a lot of things that they need to fix.
The Giants,
and I think that's a good place to really start your build. Is hey, let's bring in a really good edge rusher. The dude's going to be solid out the box.
I mean, yeah. If we want to stick with the Giants for a second, they're the one who actually they came back up into the first round to take Jackson Dart, who was this first quarterback off the board, second quarterback off the board, second because Cam Ward was the first one. So, you know, I guess the Giants are going all in. They think they got their quarterback.
And to be honest with you, Jackson Dart, truthfully, I feel like Jackson Dart was probably my favorite of all the quarterbacks that came out. Like Cam Ward, don't get to me, I'm not taking anything away from Cam. Cam Ward is a great quarterback. There's always going to be some kind of negative or a weakness that a quarterback has, and I think Cam Ward's no different. He's going to have some struggles when he comes into the NFL, but I think Jackson Dart was a smart player. I love the fact that he came out, combine, pro day, all that, took every bit of advantage of every opportunity that was given to him.
Another Ole Miss quarterback coming in the Giants.
I know.
It worked out all right the first time. So, got him missing that last name, but other than that.
Got him a couple Super Bowls last time that happened.
But when you you look down the first round, Genty going to the Raiders makes total sense.
Yes.
He's immediately going to start for them. Good for them. But, the first round wasn't, there was no zazzle. It was just all really good players. I don't know.
Like I said, a lot of offensive linemen that are gonna help boost some teams and protect some quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Colston Loveland going to Chicago. I think that's a good pick. Chicago's got a lot of weapons, man. Like they're doing everything they can to give Caleb Williams every opportunity.
I told you once, I'm not falling for the Bears hype again.
Nah.
Everybody's saying the same thing. Bears had a great draft. Bears, no, I'm not doing it. Don't even talk to me about the Bears.
Tyler Booker, offensive lineman from Bama, going to Cowboys.
That night, I texted the group. I said, "Jerry about to shock the world," because I thought he might just say it and screw it. Like the stars aligned, he's there. Take Shedeur right now, and it just set the world on fire. Because he likes that kind of attention.
He's stupid and he's crazy, but I'll give him credit. The last 5 years, he's not crazy during the draft anymore.
Maybe they keep him in the basement on draft day.
No, I really do think he's not in the basement, but I do think that they have I don't think he's the only one with that's making the calls on draft.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
But a good pick for the Cowboys. They need an offensive line.
I think it's a great pick for the Cowboys.
It's not sexy, but they needed it.
Yes. You guys, y'all are in on Dak. The dude's got to be protected. He needs protection out there. If you want a solid run game to pick back up, you're going to have guys to block for a running back. I think offensive lineman was a good positional pick for you guys. I see Robert shaking his head.
They need a. I don't know how the rest of their draft went.
4 out of the first 5 batters.
What?
Ooh.
A home run.
Wait, what?
Against the Orioles?
Of course. It's not going to be a
Who's
four.
pitching?
Kyle Gibson. This is his first game back.
I thought for sure you were going to say the whole fucking Charlie.
No. It's Kyle Gibson's first game of the season.
I got you. Well, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren going to Indianapolis.
Great fit.
Yeah.
It felt right to him.
I like Tyler Warren, too. I think he's going to be another one that's going to be a great NFL fit.
Maybe he's got a little Dallas Clark vibe about it.
Yes.
But way more athletic. But, but I don't think the first round's really... It got a little interesting down when you got towards the bottom, but people were trying to trade out.
A lot of guys wanted that one extra pick.
Ravens at 27, they stuck and took the kid out of Georgia, the safety.
Malachi Starks.
He's going to start. next to Kyle Hamilton. Love that pick. And then with their second round pick, they get the kid Mike Green out of Marshall. Now, he's got some off the field issues, some fairly significant ones, but I guess they're hoping that the culture at the Ravens is good enough and they can keep this kid's head screwed on straight, because he was a top 25 talent, but teams passed on him because of his off the field stuff, and we got him the second round at like 50 something. So I like the Ravens' 2 first picks, and then they pretty much spent the rest of the draft doing offensive line and defensive line. They took the kid Peebles out of Virginia Tech. I like to see that. And
you guys got a good one from Virginia Tech.
And we also drafted a kicker.
I saw that third round, I think.
Fifth round.
Later.
Fifth round?
Fifth or sixth round. But that has all but ended Justin Tucker's tenure.
Yeah.
The Ravens know something we don't.
I think
and very clearly, like, that was my one takeaway from that. Like, if you had something in the draft, I like what they did, but to make me go, whoa, like, you know, they know something we don't, and I think Tuck is going to get suspended. Not to say he'll never kick in the league again, but I think he's kicked his last kick for the Ravens, in my opinion, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And even if he goes to another team, as long as it's not like in the AFC, that matters. Like, if he goes to another team like that and kicks well, I'll be happy for him.
How old is Justin Tucker?
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like he's in his early to mid 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the league for
but he's a kicker, so he got kicked for another 10 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not saying that he's too old to kick, but he's had a pretty good career up to this point. I mean, I mean, one of the best kickers in the league for, God, most of his career.
Yeah.
So, when I saw the pick come through, that was ESPN. All these people were getting, like, all these kids were getting picked out of college, going to their teams and all that. And ESPN would just be like, oh, such and such picked such and such picked such and such. But when that pick came through, they made a point to make a big deal about it. It was like, Ravens select kicker such and such amid Justin Tucker's issues. All that. I'm like,
Media sucks.
yeah. Like, that was one where I'm like, dude, first off, if you watch football at all, you know what's going on. Why couldn't you just get, like, you had to put that on the dude's draft stuff? Like, why can't you just make it exciting for him? Like, yeah, this dude got drafted. He got drafted to the Ravens. Like, this is going to be a great fit. No, he got, because of Justin Tucker's off field. Like, dude, come on.
I didn't even watch the first round. I didn't watch the whole draft. I didn't even watch the whole. I think I got a little bit past where the Cowboys picked, but I didn't even watch ESPN. I couldn't even tell you anything that was happening on ESPN's coverage. I was watching Barstools.
I watched a YouTube coverage that it was some NFL thing. Like, I thought it was NFL Network, but it wasn't. Because the whole time I'm like, the picks were coming in. I was getting notification on my phone long before the video, and then they'd be like, okay, well, the pick's in. And it was like they would basically do a reaction. I didn't
like the way ESPN covered the draft, to be honest. I thought they kind of took the shine away from the number 1 overall pick. They made it all about Shedeur Sanders, when really this kid
made the whole thing about Shedeur Sanders.
And they kind of steal the limelight of this kid getting, like, him getting picked first overall was just an afterthought.
Yeah.
You know, and they
look at Caleb Williams last year. That was the draft. Like, that was the huge thing. Everyone knew where he was going by the time draft day came. The same thing this time, like Cam Ward, everyone knew he was going to Tennessee. They knew they had a need for him and he was going there. But yeah, I agree. Like, it wasn't they didn't make no big thing about it. Like, oh, it was just kind of like, yeah, okay. Cam Ward's number 1, on to round 2.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper sucks.
Or second pick, rather.
Why does Mel Kiper suck? Because he was crying about Shedeur?
Well, he just sucks.
I'm not a fan of him.
I've never been a fan of him.
Mind Mel Kiper.
I'm not a fan
the
of him.
The way that he just whined and whined. Shedeur, no one's picking Shedeur. He's my best on my board. Well, who cares about your board, okay? You're not
that just says a lot about you, Mel.
Like, well, he's got one time a year to do his thing. So,
well, maybe that tells you something about him. Like, maybe you don't know what you're talking about either, Mel. Like, and the fact that he went off after Shedeur did get picked, and he starts going off about how the NFL is clueless. The NFL is clueless on how to evaluate quarterbacks. Coming from the same guy who said that if Jimmy Clausen isn't successful in the NFL, then he's done. He would quit. Well, you still got a job, Mel, and Jimmy Clausen sucks. So how good are you at evaluating quarterbacks?
I think it was Chris Bailey told me that it was back in the day, Jamarcus Russell. Mel Kiper was huge on Jamarcus Russell being the next greatest quarterback to play in the NFL. I was like, well, Mel, how'd that fucking work out for you? Like, that was a huge flop.
One of the shows that I watched earlier today, they went back on the last 25 years Super Bowl winners, and they were like, what round were the quarterbacks picked in? Mm-hmm. You take out Russell Wilson, and you take out Tom Brady, who had a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like Trent Dilfer was the first, second round pick. I think Brad Johnson wasn't, but then you get into Roethlisberger and you Peyton Manning, and they're all first or second round picks, pretty much. Even Nick Foles.
Yep.
They're not that bad.
Yeah.
You know what?
Dude, I heard his dick was so big it got drafted before he did.
Like, there's a lot of it's hard to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's hard to predict the future. So guess what? You're going to be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'd say they do a pretty good job. I mean,
on the evaluation.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, these coaches have been around the block plenty of times. They know the things to look out for on these players that even guys like us that watch football all the time don't think about looking out for. They know the intangibles to look for. They know the issues to keep an eye out for. I do want to talk a little bit, and I'm sure, after this whole week, I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing and talking about it, but obviously I want to talk about it because it was the big topic that the media pushed on this, was the Shedeur Slide, man.
all right, all this talk about he did bad in his interviews and his attitude and everything. Okay, that could be very well true, and he may not have a good attitude. But if he was really, really, really good, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. When was Dion drafted?
I don't even remember.
Not in the 6th round, I'll tell you that. Not in the 5th round, because his talent matched what he was saying. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to they just didn't see that they weren't going to put him as
there was a lot of hype, not a lot of substance.
Yes.
So maybe he just had a reality.
But do the Browns think, okay, at a 5, we can take him? If he turns into something, then that's great. If not, who cares?
I didn't like the way the Browns handled it. It took two quarterbacks in the mid round.
What else? They need
a quarterback.
Well, and now
they just stick with Gabriel. Don't take a ball.
And now they've rostered 5 mediocre quarterbacks. You've got a couple veterans. You got a couple rookies.
Well,
but
Watson's out. He's still going to be hurt. He's not even going to be in that room. Kenny Pickett does suck. Joe Flacco's going to be their starter. So they're like, hey, we need to start trying to get somebody for some. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah,
I thought the Browns.
You think Joe Flacco's going to start?
I think
I think he's got the inside track. I think he's got the inside track.
You think Kenny Pickett could beat him out?
No. I don't. If Flacco doesn't start, it's because it's Gabriel or Shedeur, in my opinion.
The interesting. So here's my thing about it is, and people are like, well, a lot of teams didn't draft him because of his dad, and I'm like, well. Okay, let's say that that's not the case. Say that his dad had no bearing on it. Well, then the reports come out the day after he's drafted. Dion saying, well, this first team meeting that he goes to, I'm going to be a part of that, and I'm going to have a hand in this meeting. And I'm like, dude, you might be a Hall of Fame player. You are just a guy. You're a dad. You're not a coach on this team. You're not a GM. You're not an owner. You're nothing on the Browns. You don't get the right. If you've coached him his whole life, that's fine. You don't get the right anymore. He is now a grown-ass man going to a team who's paying him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
I think that I think that's a lot of the negative media attention is because of Dion.
Well, yeah, like they are projecting some of their dislike for Dion onto Shedeur.
And
But he brings on a lot of it himself. Too.
Yeah, he's like his dad.
Oh, you can tell that was ingrained in him as he played.
The difference
for
is his dad was fucking good.
Oh God, yeah, dude. Like
his dad had so much more athletic ability than Shedeur does.
But going back on like what Mel Kiper, I think, was the one that was saying it, and was like. He went 26-3 and holds over 100 records and stuff in college football from Jacksonville State. And I'm like, okay, if you want to argue like, oh, well, he didn't have talent around him at Jacksonville State. And
yes, he did.
I'm like, dude, he had the guy who just won the fucking Heisman playing with him. So don't tell me he didn't have a ton. They had more talent there when he was there.
Everyone talks about the turnarounds that Shedeur made to these teams at Jackson State and at Colorado. Okay, well, he went to Jackson State, which is an HBCU, with a league that doesn't have the most talent, brings in the #1 college recruit in the country.
Yep.
And other players,
We're like, yep, let's go.
because they want to play with Dion. So there's a lot of talent. They have the most talented team in the HBCU.
Their helmet in Jackson State, but that was not a normal Jackson State team. They were.
They were a juggernaut team.
Did he turn around Colorado? Technically, yes, he did.
But
because they were the worst team in college football, like maybe history. They're pretty easy to turn around, especially when you have Dion come in and bring in some good recruits, and then also. This guy Travis Hunter that you're bringing in that was the #1 recruit and becomes a Heisman.
Well, and he's the first Colorado player to ever win the Heisman.
But how much did he actually turn them around? Did he ever win a bowl game? Did they ever do like so? Yeah, he did, but did he?
I feel like he changed the what's the word I'm looking for? The atmosphere at the school more
Changed
than
the cost of doing business.
Right. So he changed the culture. Let's put he changed the culture of Colorado.
But I think
do I think they needed that? In a way, yeah, I think, but
I don't think that was Shedeur though.
No.
Dad did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Dion did that when he came. Do I think that the way Dion did it was smart? Dude, yeah, he coached the day he got the job at Jackson State. I believe the wheels were already turning that in a year or two, I'm going to a D1 school and I'm taking all these guys with me. I think that was 100% the game plan the whole time, and he executed the game plan and he got most what he wanted out of it. Again, I think that the narcissism that people put on Shedeur comes from his dad pushing that too. Like telling the band that when Shedeur scores a touchdown, they're not allowed to play the fight song because they have to play his rap song over the speakers in the stadium. That's a bit much. Like, that's a bit much.
Branding. He's a branding master. Like, he's a marketer and a coach. He is a brand.
He is. But that brand ended up being the 5th round for Shedeur.
You know?
And again, I don't. I said in the group chat, I'm like, call it petty, whatever. I enjoyed watching the slide. One, because I'm not a big fan of the way that Dion runs things. I'm not a big fan of the way Shedeur plays ball. I was also a fan of it because I'm like, if he's to be successful, he needs to have a couple humbling moments. He needs to have a couple moments to say, hey, I need to take a step back and reevaluate who I am and how I do things.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's anything. I don't know if that's possible.
It might not be. It might not be. But
if it is possible, this is what's going to do it, because like he should play with a huge chip on his shoulder, and this should get him to straighten out. Like,
yes,
if he has the ability to, then he should be able to.
Yes.
To turn this into something positive.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
It's tough to tell at this point. I mean, shit. By week 4, he could be the starter. By week 4, he could be an open free agent. Like, you just don't know, because there's so many things that could happen between now and then. But again, I thought it was kind of just funny the comments that were coming in on the live on that YouTube as it was going, like Shedeur sitting at home updating his LinkedIn profile right now. Like Shedeur sitting at home.
The memes going around,
Dude.
Sorry, the memes going around about Shedeur were wild.
Savage. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's like so ruthless. They were like, one of the comments was like, just got the inside word. Shedeur will be drafted in the 3rd round by Uber Eats.
By the way, who the kid who prank called him, kind of a piece of
Yeah,
shit.
piece of shit. Like
Kind of a piece of shit. You know, like that.
and a dumbass.
And this stuff happens a lot.
Why are you recording it and putting it on the internet?
That's what I was like.
Also, whoever recorded Shedeur getting pranked and put that on the internet, you're a fucking moron. You're not a friend of Shedeur either. That shouldn't have been put on either.
Yeah.
Like, what are you...
I think at the moment that it happened when I saw the first video, because truthfully, when I saw the first video, I was like,
It's just
this is fake.
cringy. Like, it's just cringy.
Yeah, I was like, this is fake. And then I was like, well, if it wasn't fake and it was real, I was like, I guess I can maybe see the humor in it. I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding it.
But
I
it
guess
wasn't
they
even
can
a
kinda
good
see-
prank. It
but-
wasn't planned out well. He didn't know what he was saying. He was like, "We're gonna draft you," and then it was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to wait longer." What?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Huh?"
It's like he was like, I'm gonna make the call.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like,
In the video, it comes up. Oh my God, he bought it!
Well,
let's go back to Ole Miss.
I think that, I think both sides should calm down about it a little bit. I think that it was a tasteless thing. The more I've seen about it, and that's the one positive thing I will say for Shedeur through this whole process of draft slide and all that, was when they talked to him afterwards, when I guess they posted a video of it or whatever, whoever was talking to him, and he was like, well, I'm not going to get mad. He was like, because that's what the whole point of it is to try to see somebody get mad. And he was like, and I'm not going to get mad. Like that's not
Right.
And that was the one shining moment in my book for him, was to say, hey, I'm going to show you that a cooler head will prevail on this, and I'm not going to let that get to me. And it didn't seem like it did. And he got drafted in the 5th. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
We'll see him in the preseason.
Yes. Also, I do know that there is a lot of push for some of the, like, I understand some of the stuff, like the kid needs to be punished for doing the prank and all that. The thing that got me was when people were like, no, the NFL needs to step in and they need to like press charges on him.
No,
And
but
I'm
there's
like,
no charge. It's being the prank calls are not.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think there's any charge.
But, like-
there could be, but like there should be something. I feel bad for his dad.
Yeah.
Like
making him look like an idiot.
Oh, dude.
Right.
yeah.
So like it was a prank, and it was dumb.
Well, and like you said, it was a dumb prank. If you're gonna prank somebody, like, it could have been done a lot funnier. Maybe not
These
made a
kids
big
today
public.
don't know. These kids today don't know about prank calls.
No.
Like it's
No,
not a
the
thing.
real one.
It's not like a. There's too much caller ID.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
Although I will say,
The best defense back then was star 69.
right. I will say though, we're talking about a lame prank and all that. It's like the hot shit when we were growing up. Like, is your refrigerator running?
Didn't 69 give you the number that just called you?
Yeah, it just gave you the number they called you.
7 hid your number, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember all the
R67 hid your number.
before you typed in.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Rob was like, come on,
Yeah, I was prank call king.
Yeah, it's something like that. But star 69 gave you who was
Okay,
the last number.
if we're gonna throw it back, which one did you like better? A prank call or a really good ding dong ditch?
I'm lazy, so prank call.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm prank calling.
The running you gotta do.
No, I was just to get your blood flowing. Get your adrenaline going.
It's like the excitement.
Yeah, just walking up to a stranger and ringing the doorbell. Because this was back in the day when people actually answer the door when you ring the doorbell. You know, so
I've got you on the ring, kid. I see you.
and then, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And no one, and, you know, everybody, you know.
Knowledge is
Now,
ruined
I never
everything,
did this,
man.
but obviously the other half of the equation was the flaming bag of dog shit on the step, and you hopefully getting to step it out. Now people only say that it happened in the movies, but it had to happen enough in the wild for people that did do that in the movies. I never did that, but I did one time hide in the bushes far, like it was kind of dark, and I was close to the house, and the old man answered the door, and we started calling him names from the bush, and he couldn't see us. That was awesome.
I was
He like, you know, gets pissed at us. We're calling him all sorts of names I can't say on the YouTube.
I can't, yeah, right. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, actually, talking up. Then they were talking. The one guy was talking about the Jerky Boys because prank. I think,
God, yeah.
and he was talking about. There's a lot of like the guy who was talking about it is about our age. It was PFT, and then everyone else in the room was like Big T and like the younger
clue.
people, and they were like, "What? No idea what you're talking about." And he was like, "Oh, let me tell you." He's like these prank calls. These guys, they would prank call people, and then they would record them, and they put them on a CD, Big T just couldn't wrap his head around it. He was like, so you would drive to the record store and you'd buy a record. He goes, no, a CD. He goes, or cassette. A lot of them were probably on cassette. He goes,
A Jerky Boy CD.
okay, so you would buy a CD of the prank calls. It's like, yeah, it was the greatest thing ever. It's like, and he just couldn't understand it. It's like, and PFT was like, actually, what we would do is we would get a phone book, look up the record store, call them on the phone, and
Yep.
ask them if they had it.
Yep.
And then it was like, and then we would take a bus and then go. And it was all yeah. And it's like crazy.
So when we wanted an audio file of today's YouTube clips, we had to drive to the store and pay money to get them.
Yes.
Yeah, and, like we didn't have access to everything like this.
Oh my
and
gosh.
listening a prank call CD that was revolution. Like people weren't prank
You
calling.
could still, I remember listening in a George Carlin CD, the comedian, and you would just listen to and the tracks were just
I
jokes.
had plenty of comedy. CDs.
Comedy scenes. Like, oh, I just want to hear this one joke, and you'd fast forward like track 10.
I had plenty of them.
You talk about the Jerky Boy. Says she come to my house and she kick my dog, and now my dog have to have operation. Dude, I was just showing the guys at work that like months and months ago. Like, you never heard this? Like,
Jerky.
You've never heard this one?
He just unlocks. I hadn't thought about the Jerky Boys in a long time.
Oh man. Well, guys, what moves you this week? That's all I've got. I don't want to sit here and harp on Shedeur like
Yeah, no,
we're
I
over
get
it.
it.
The draft was a good one. It is what it is. It's over.
Let's hope he doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean,
Not in Cleveland.
if he does, it's great.
No, it's not great.
Well, because even if he works out,
I'm rooting for him.
Cleveland is not going to be.
If you're wearing a Browns jersey, I can't root for you, brother. You're dead to me.
I didn't say I was going to wear a jersey.
No. Anyway, what movie this week? We talked a little bit about it today. We can talk about it for a second, but just Saquon going to the White House, getting flown on Air Force One to go hang out with Donald Trump. Now, everything you might feel about Donald Trump aside, I guess people were giving him shit because he's like, why would you play golf with this man? Mm-hmm. But my opinion is this: if Jalen Hurts can respectfully decline, say, yeah, I can't make it, schedule and anyone just say not go. Saquon has every right to say, well, I am going to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Everyone has
no
their
one,
right
no,
to do
like
whatever they
you
want.
have to be the 1% of the 1% to get that invite.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever you feel about him, if it's like it's too much for me, I don't want to go. You got to respect that decision. But if someone says, you know, I am going to go because it is the president, it is playing golf. Not everyone gets a chance. I'm going to go. You got to respect that too. And so, like, to people coming at like bashing this guy, bashing Saquon for going on a golf trip with the guy. Now, I'm not much of a fan of Donald Trump, but you go. You go.
His response was good. Like, you couldn't have had a better response. He's like, yeah, I played golf with Donald Trump, that he's the president. I just played golf with Obama like a few weeks ago. Like, it's not who they are. Like, I'm respecting the opportunity to like go do something that not many people get to do. And I think that's one of those things that's just it's played into way too much.
Once you get into politics, there's no nuance. There's no talking. It's just
and I'm certainly not making it political by any means. I just
I know you're not.
A person's right to just say this is my choice.
Yeah.
And some people chose to not go.
Yeah.
And some people chose to go.
People have been not going. Super Bowl winners have been opting to not go to the White House for
and you don't
quite a while.
But you don't hear people about it.
No.
But
and you know, I get it. Like politics, like I like my sports a little separated from my politics, but.
Yes,
I enjoyed his response. I thought it was a very smart response. And I enjoyed the fact that he was like, you know, no matter who it is, like, you have to respect that position. Like, you have to respect the position.
Besides who's in it.
Yeah. Not the person. You have to respect
but if
the
it's too
position.
much, like, and if we're obviously too much for some guys,
Yeah.
and they say, I don't really agree, I'm not going to go. No one, you know, so, you know, that just kind of moved me this week, and so I'd get it out there. So
Well, most definitely. I'd be interested to see what that scorecard looks like.
a lot of birdies.
Right? What are all these little marks you put on here? Oh, those are all mulligans.
Oh, yeah, there aren't going to be marks on the work card. Are you kidding? There were no mulligans.
the fearless leader got a hole in one on every hole. Amazing.
Another strike for the chosen one.
Kim Jong-un did that.
I know.
He got an 18. Yeah.
Yeah. He also doesn't defecate.
You didn't hear about that?
Never play golf. He shot an 18. A hole in one on every course, on every hole.
That's like spam cheating, like a casual lobby in like an online.
Well, didn't
shooter or something.
Putin scored like, 5-6 goals or something?
Oh, in a hockey game.
Yeah.
He scored like two hat tricks.
Man.
He might have some hits in there too. And also, he didn't change lines, so he was just
And the goalie didn't attempt to save them at all.
Oh yeah. Or are you really if you're in Russia? Are you gonna
Yeah,
are you gonna put a hit on Putin? Are you gonna lean him out? Are you gonna Tom Wilson him?
Shot? Are you gonna stop
Oh yeah.
Putin shot?
No,
you're not.
No, you're gonna end up in some. You're gonna end up in some gulag.
Gets the glove save, and you just see the coach is like.
And you see
He was our best goal.
you just see the KGB on earpieces going like this, and okay. Yeah. And then you don't see him again. He's in some prison gulag.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But that's what this week.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it. I do like it. Robert,
What he said.
what he said. Okay.
Yeah, that was all fun.
Game 5 coming up. Try and take the series.
Yeah, game 5 tomorrow. Caps. Go Caps.
I'll be tuned in.
Yep.
You gotta lock in, Randy. You gotta lock in.
Or, okay, how about this? This moved me. It is the
Bogart.
We have gotten 6 outs,
Oh no.
and it's 6-0. Oh no, we've gotten 8 outs. 2 outs in the top of the third already. We might 3 up, 3 down. Don't call it a comeback, baby.
I've been here for years.
The O's are lighting it up. Yeah, they've had a lot of. They've had 6
down.
We've after 2 innings, we had 6 outs and they had 6 home runs. Ben Rice has 2 already.
I had Bellinger on my bench.
Yep, he's got 1. Judge has 1. Grisham has 1, and I've got a bet on Goldschmidt, and he went 0 for 2 right in between all that.
Oh my god.
Oh, Pauly?
Yeah.
Pauly's part of the reason I stopped playing after 1 year of playing fantasy baseball with y'all. I was like, oh, Goldschmidt, he's a solid guy. Like, he's not going to be amazing, but he's going to get solid enough. Fuck Paul Goldschmidt, man. He screwed me every week in, week out on that damn league last
Dude,
year.
how much did he pay you?
Huh?
He screwed you every weekend.
Didn't even buy me dinner. Didn't even buy me dinner.
Not even a bottle of wine or anything?
Nah, Nope. Like, I mean, a gentleman will ask me to put on high heels
Yeah,
and
that's,
lipstick.
I guess that's why they call you Raw Dog Randy.
And as a follow-up on the Florida Tampa series, Aaron Ekblad, who scored the game-winning goal or the game-tying goal last night, because like we said, when Tampa scored 2 goals in 11 seconds, well, in the third period, Florida scored 2 goals in 11 seconds to win the game. Aaron Ekblad scored the game-tying goal. He has been suspended for 2 games for elbowing Hagel. And I
didn't see the hit. Was it one of these?
No, it was one where he was going. I don't know if it was.
Was he like behind her, or was it like a straight up chicken wing?
No, it was coming forward, and he went boom.
That's pretty much elbowing someone in the
Now, they do that to the
yeah.
knock them over. They will use their. But he went high, and there was no penalty on the play. There was a lot of
him and Han.
And he hit him right in the face. With
Yeah, he did.
Still not as bad as
It looks like he's coming up on him, and he's like kind of surprised, and he maybe just kind of does this to defend himself. I don't know.
They've got to do something. The series has been getting out of hand. These hits. That's the second time Hagel's been laid out. Like, I think 2 game suspension in the playoffs is a little harsh for that, because I don't think that it was like, I don't know if he was really trying to elbow him in the face.
But maybe that's what them trying to get control of the series is what they're
That's a harsh way to get a hold of a series.
We're gonna take away one of the best players on their team. That's a harsh way to get control of the series for 2 games. That's them saying we want this to go to Game 7.
Yeah.
And that would be a great series to have Game 7. But sorry to take over. What moves you?
Nah, dude. I'm like, shit. You're good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
What moves me? Well, after a really, really, really rough start to the season, Atlanta is now 2 games out from 500 on the season. 2 games out from tied for second place with the Phillies in the division. At the beginning of the season, when we were 0-7, they said that no team that had ever started 0-7 finished the season above 500.
Well, I would have taken a bet that the Braves would finish over 500.
Yeah, what
at 0-7.
Yeah, I think what moves me more than anything isn't the fact that we're there; it's the fact that a lot of fans gave up a lot, and we're not even in May yet.
Baseball fans are stupid. They really are.
Yeah.
They're stupid. Really, I get it.
I'm one.
I need to get off the internet. I really do. Because, they're so stupid, dude. It's 162 games.
Like, it is, because I think a lot of fans are like, if you're a fan of a lot of sports, you're conditioned. Like, if you're an NFL fan,
You're conditioned that every
game matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so they are hypercritical of a pitcher who might have 2 or 3 bad starts in a row.
Yeah.
And say, oh, he's washed.
They don't understand that.
But over the span of the season, if he's going to make 27, 28 starts, you're bound to have a tiny little skid here and there.
Now with the Orioles, it's a little different because we've lost. Kowser and Grayson got pushed to 60-day. Westberg just went on IL. Eflin on IL.
And they've been floundering every season.
And they have at the end of the season, their top 3 pitchers to start the season are gone. Eflin, Grayson on IL, Burns is out. They already weren't great behind them. So, we struggle pitching, and the bats haven't really woke up. We're missing Santander, who hit a lot of home runs for us, and they tried to replace him with Tyler O'Neill, who sucks.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah.
So
There's no reason he's bouncing around.
at this point, it's worrisome for the Orioles because there's nothing to correct this. You can't make a trade. You can't there's no one player that can change. Like they're just stuck with this for this year, and it's just gonna. I predicted they were gonna have a rough year even without the injuries. So with all these injuries, it's based like. This is what I've been trying. What I was trying to say, like the last 2 years, when like it was like my dad would say, or anyway, y'all are set up for the future. It's like you can't say that for baseball. Nothing is set up for the future.
But the future has to be now at some point. Like the future is now. Like it has to. Like if you always just looking at towards the future. I mean,
no, I'm not. That's my argument.
No,
that
I'm agreeing with
everyone. Like, it's not guaranteed next year. Nothing is guaranteed.
I agree 100%. I'm on board with that mentality because that's, Donnie preached it a long time. That's what the Braves were big on at, 2020 into 2021, signing these guys to big contract extensions. We got them friends and family discount, cheap contracts for who we were getting for the caliber of players. And then they were like, well, look at the team we've got. Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, got all these pitchers. We got Matt Olson locked in, Ronald Acuna, Michael Harris. All these guys are locked in, long-term deals. We've got them, and I'm like, I feel like that was the mentality, was like, all we need to do is just sign them. Well, no. They still have to play at a high level.
They have to play at a high level. They have to stay healthy.
Yes, like there's a lot more that goes into it than just we got them on a 7-year deal. Like,
look at the Dodgers this year. Have you seen their IL list of pitchers? It's low.
Yeah. And they're still fucking 20 wins.
But they're winning games 10-9 because they can hit. Instead of winning, 4-3.
Yeah, but you're not going to win those in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, and trust me, I know.
No, yeah. 19-10, tied with fucking Giants, man.
Blake Snell. Who else just went out? Glasnow's now out. Trinan's out. I mean, the list was so long of pitchers that are out.
It'd be tough to be a fan of an NL West team,
but that lineup,
a hell of a
that lineup is going to keep them competitive while the rest of the pitching staff for the Dodgers gets healthy. That lineup will keep them competitive, in every single game.
Well, and that's why they have the payroll that they have.
And that's why they had the payroll.
Yeah, but yeah, I was happy to see the Braves fighting, getting us back in it. I'm like, I've loved seeing it. I'm not going to sit here and call it what moved me, but I did see one cool little Braves tidbit. Did you see this tweet by Chipper Jones? Anybody? I know you guys aren't big racing fans. Well,
no.
So Joey Logano, they raced Talladega this weekend. Joey Logano was fighting for a stage win. His teammate Austin Cindric, they're in line beside each other. Or I guess he was in line behind him. He pulled out of the line to try to make a pass at the end of the stage. It took all the momentum away. Logano wasn't able to pass Bubba Wallace, who was leading. And after they passed the stage end checkered, Logano blasted Cindric on the radio. Now, I'm not a big fan of Logano, but he was like, what a dumbass. He was like, you just gave him the fucking win. You gave a rival car maker a stage win. He was like, what are you even thinking out here? He's like, what kind of driver does that? Blasts him. Well, fast forward to the end, Austin Cindric won that race. And Chipper Jones made a tweet and was like, congratulations, Austin Cindric. Like, that was really awesome to see you fight through and win a really tough race. Like, that was awesome. And he was like, I gotta find it real quick because the tweet was like, it was a good one. Because even Dale Jr. posted was like, Jesus, Chipper, like, commented on it.
Praise Dale.
So he tweeted, let's see here. Where is it? And I love me some Chipper Jones. Like, Chipper Jones is just that all-American dude, man. Like, the tweet said, brand new phone with terrible speed all the time. Congrats to Austin Cindric on his Talladega win. Good teammates are hard to come by, boss. Remember that one of yours MF'd you on national television, when in actuality you did everything possible to keep from wrecking. Hate to be hashtag deuces in the team meeting on Monday. Some people are hooray for our team as long as I'm the star, as every team has them, Hendrick, RCR, JGR, Penske, etc. Sometimes karma is glorious. Enjoy this one. In case anyone is confused, let me be clear, at Joey Logano. And I was like, dude, my man Chipper just straight called him out. But yeah, that was kind of bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
on the couch having a few Miller Lights watching the race. He's like, no, we'll let this one fly.
Yeah, right. But I thought it was good karma. Like, you're going to sit there and trash your teammate over the radio on national television. And you know what he did? Came back and gave you a big and won the race. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's get into reviewing some of these snacks, man.
All right, let's do it, man.
Let's knock it out. Where you want to start?
We'll start with the ones we started with. The on the border salsa chips. You want another one there, Robert?
No.
I'll do one more.
I think I'm like a 6'3".
Solid 7-8 for me. I like them.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8. Mm-hmm. Those are good. Mm-hmm. I enjoy those.
The only thing that would worry me, Robert, talking about having them to dip for salsa, they're so light and flaky. I wonder if they get soggy quick. Like, if you have salsa and you dip it, does it immediately soak in?
I don't wait that long. Just straight from jar at your face. All right, the next one. The Clancy's loaded bacon and cheddar flavored wavy potato chips. And so I see these things on the front, like the loaded fries.
Yeah.
I mean, I love those.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at a 6.5 on these. They're good.
7'9".
They are a little
7.9?
little too bacon bitty for me, but they're good.
See, I don't like bacon flavored things, and I didn't get much bacon flavor. Like, it was a light enough bacon flavored thing. So
I love bacon bits. Like,
I hate them.
the artificial bacon bits.
No, they're gross.
Oh, dude.
Can't stand them.
It's like red kitty litter that tastes like smoke. Like, it's not good.
You know why I like them? I like them in baked potato because they add a crunch. It gives it consistency.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
But the flavor doesn't bother me of an artificial bacon. These, I'm kind of with Robert. I taste a lot more cheese than bacon. I get a little hint of bacon. Definitely can't say that it's not there. I'm like 8-3 on these.
Okay, all right.
Clancy's got a good chip
Okay,
in my
next
book.
time I go, I'll pick up some more Clancy's products. But
I'm like,
shout out Clancy doing it. And last thing we got was the Wonder Bread cinnamon twist pecan roll thing. Honestly, I'm right down the middle with these. They taste just like any other pecan twist. They were a little softer. I'll give them that. But they're right down the middle. They're 5.
okay. What you got on these, Robert?
Yeah, probably like
You're 5?
5.5.
So I love the pecan pinwheels. I can't even remember which one it is from Little Debbie, except for the fact
It's
that
missing the pieces of pecan.
and it is. Now, the thing is, the pieces of pecan do not drive me. That's not a huge part of it for me. I like the cinnamon flavor in a spin wheel. These right here, they're like a 9 for me.
Really?
I would eat multiple pack, like
So
literally
these
hoover
are
that.
way different than the ones you normally eat.
The consistency of dry versus soft, it makes a complete. It's like football and baseball, like two different sports almost. for me.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, like I brought that up earlier. Like I'm not the only one who thinks that like the dry outer ring of you automatically just peeled it off. It's inedible. Like it's so dry.
You never get a solid, moist Little Debbie spin wheel, but I've had them where they're dry all the way through.
Really? Ooh,
And
gross.
they're not. Yeah, I'm like, you take a bite. It's like a Popeye's biscuit. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had a biscuit from Popeyes. The flavor's there, but golly, dude, like you need you need like a friggin' bottle of water for each bite. But yeah, the consistency, they were super soft. I like the flavor. They were really good.
All right.
I would dog a lot.
They got the honey buns too out there at Aldi. I got those at Aldi, by the way. So, all right,
But yeah, I'm digging them.
All right, you can have the last one.
Oh, dude, don't tempt me with a good
Yeah, go
time.
for it. Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Now, you got to unroll it. You got to unroll it all the way.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's flaky too. Oh man.
All right, before you finish that, close the show out there, Randall.
Oh, I can't. This is so good. Oh, they do.
What?
They do have the pieces of pecan in there.
Oh, I see a little. What do you say? Hold on, let me get a magnifying glass.
Right. They are in there.
It could be fingernail, could be pecan. Who
Look,
knows?
there's one. There's one.
Yeah, I see it. This is big.
Well, everybody, that is about all the time we've got for you tonight. We want to say thank you so much for being a part of this episode, for getting in there. I know we had a couple guys in here engaging, throwing some comments out there. Always good to see on the podcast. We love seeing it. And for anybody who's watching this after we posted it, hope you really enjoyed the episode. Brent, Robert, good to see you guys as always.
Man. Hell yeah.
Great snacks tonight.
Thank you.
Robert, sorry about the Orioles.
Yeah, shit happens.
We want to thank our guy behind the scene, the big man behind the scene, Josh Richards, for everything he does, keeping us rocking and rolling.
Thank you, Josh.
It's DJ J Rich, for anybody who doesn't know. And we want to thank Varsity for, once again, having us in the studio, giving us some parking help out there today.
Shout out. Andrea.
Yep, shout out to Andrea. Thank you so much for everything. And again, we just want to thank all you fans out there. Remember, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't, keep hitting that share button, send it out to your people, get them on board. Let's keep growing this thing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And thank you for everybody who's joined us and been a part of the SportsBites family. And with that, we are SportsBites, your #1 sports podcast, bringing you the best of both worlds.
Sports.
Snacks.
Thank you guys so much. We love you. Have a great night.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag.